huge news, right? Huge news that will have made Russian dictator Vladimir Putin choke. Germany has been refusing to give the decisive help that Ukraine needs to defend itself against this brutal Russian invasion that's gone on for 11 months now. But there's been a stunning breakthrough. Germany has caved into huge pressure from its allies. It's no more the sausage-eating surrender monkeys, and it's finally agreed to send about 14 of its Leopard tanks to Ukraine. These are extremely advanced, much better than the Russian tanks. But more important than even that is that Germany's also dropped its ban on other countries that bought these Leopard tanks from Germany. It's dropped its ban for those countries to give those tanks on to Ukraine. And that means that countries like Poland and Denmark, Finland, Holland, Portugal, Spain, they can and almost certainly will give Ukraine some of their own Leopards as well. Some have already done so. Britain is also sending 14 of its Challenger tanks and the US 31 of its equally advanced Abrams. So Ukraine is probably going to get 110, 150, maybe even more, of some of the most advanced tanks in the world ahead of Ukraine's spring offensive against the Russian army. This could be huge. Joining me is the Ukrainian ambassador to Australia, Vasyl Myroshnychenko. Joining me is the Ukrainian ambassador for Australia, Vasyl Myroshnychenko, who's been out and about in Australia today, so didn't get back in time to dress like he normally does, in suit and tie. But Ambassador, I tell you what, your president has set the standard for how we dress now. These are very serious times, and what's a suit now? But let's go to these tanks. These tanks that are coming your way, European, Western, German, high-tech tanks from America. What difference will they make on the battlefield?
Oh, they are instrumental. They will be very important on the battlefield. The fact that we are getting these capabilities will probably help us to free Ukrainian land, to actually bring Ukrainians from the Russian occupation. As you know, the longer Ukrainians stay under the Russian occupation, the more exposed they are to the terrorizing from Russia, to torture and other atrocities that we usually find out once we liberate the land. So the tanks will enable us to drive Russians out of Ukraine and will help us to free the land and restore our sovereignty. And these capabilities we've been asking for a while now. So it's phenomenal that actually on the President Zelensky birthday, which was just yesterday, and today on Australia Day, we see that Germany has unlocked the tanks. Americans are sending tanks. We see commitment from Finland, Poland. We're expecting similar arrangement from the Netherlands as well. So that's big news.
It is, and the British also have been promising to send tanks. Germany was refusing to let you get these Leopard tanks, which are some of the best in the world. And one excuse was, well, if it did that, it might provoke a nuclear war with Russia. Do you buy that? I mean, a lot of people are saying, oh, look, we shouldn't be arming Ukraine because Russia might explode a nuclear bomb. What do you say?
I don't buy it, and I'm happy that it's been reversed, and I'm happy that there is a tank coalition. So it's done not solely by Germany, because I think this was the concern of Germany. They are the only country which will be providing tanks. And that's done in a big coalition, that these tanks are provided and supplied by a number of European and North American countries. So I'm happy that it has happened. But again, look, at this stage, Ukraine is out there on the front lines, defending democracy, defending human rights, and defending all the most fundamental freedoms which we in the democracies enjoy, and Ukraine is out there defending those.
Now, Ambassador, I've got to say, what's been driving me mad is some people on the right now are saying, well, look, we shouldn't be helping Ukraine because it's such a corrupt country, corrupt, ignoring the fact, of course, that if you want corruption, look at Russia. I mean, you couldn't get more corrupt there with a virtual dictator there now in charge as well. Corrupt, my God. But I have to say that your president has just got rid of the Deputy Minister for Defence, who's responsible for procurement, the Deputy General Prosecutor and the Deputy Head of his own office, apparently all for corruption. Now, how bad is the problem, and is this an excuse not to help Ukraine?
Ukraine treats the issue of corruption very seriously and has been implementing serious policies. The fact that the president has reacted very swiftly to the news reports about alleged corruption at different departments and has sacked those officials, that's also demonstrating the fact that he's very serious on that. Since he became a president in 2019, he's committed to implementing a very strong anti-corruption policies. But Ukraine, as any other democracy, is still vulnerable to corruption, which exists everywhere in the world. What's important is that we have strong institutions, such as free media, for instance, in this particular case, which will keep those officials accountable.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, Ambassador Vasyl Myroshnychenko. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.